Today we're going to be talking about how to calculate payroll taxes for a small business. Hello, my name is Daniel Passon. I'm with Robert Hall & Associates. We'll be discussing how to calculate them, the employer and the employee section of where they differ and how they benefit or affect you from a tax standpoint, as well as some helpful tools of how to calculate and some resources. And please set your reminders and your notification bell to subscribe and to let you know when we have new videos I post here at Robert Hall & Associates. Let's jump right in. Calculating payroll taxes. Now, the first part of understanding what payroll taxes are, or understanding how to calculate payroll taxes, will be understanding what payroll taxes are. As employees, we pay two portions, basic portions of payroll taxes. There's the Social Security and the Medicare. Now, these are set percentages that we all pay as employees to the government that are Social Security, which is 6.2% of your paycheck, and Medicare, which is 1.45% of your paycheck as well. These are employee portioned payroll taxes that the employer also partakes the same percentages as the employer. Now, Medicare never caps. There is no cap on the Medicare wages. Someone could make $1 million a year and they still pay their Medicare taxes based on their income. There are actually thresholds of over $250,000 where you have even larger bumps, but that can complicate things a little bit more. And there's a lot of resources that we'll touch on later that can help you calculate that. But the standard is 1.45% of someone's income, and that's what they're paying in Medicare taxes. The employer also pays 1.45% in Medicare taxes too. Same thing, it does not cap. It will be there on every dollar up until $1 million plus and any number. Now, Social Security is 6.2%, but that is a cap, and it changes year over year. It's about $160,000, but it goes up and down. I should say down, but it goes up every year with inflation. So that is a number that once you hit that number of income, then it caps and you no longer have to keep paying into Social Security. Unless the tax rules change, which maybe they will in the future, there is this cap that goes into that is effectively there, and it is per person. Each person has their Social Security capped on themselves as an individual. If they have multiple jobs, they will get a refund on their tax return if they're hitting the excess of that Social Security withholding. But this is a number that the employer and the employee both are paid. Additional payroll taxes could be things like state disability, SDI. That is within California, an amount that up until 2023, there was a cap on that as well, about $160,000 as well. 2023 and forward at this point, we have no cap to where same thing, you're having that come out of your paycheck and it'll be done at about a 1% or so of someone's income. Same thing, it changes year over year. But that is also an employment tax that the employees pay. The employers do not. Additional to payroll taxes are also the employer-specific taxes like FUTA and SUTA, federal unemployment tax and state unemployment tax, and employment training taxes. These are smaller amounts, but they are still, as a small business owner, amounts you need to pay in for payroll taxes. They are about $250 a person for every person that makes over $7,000 in a year. They adjust depending on your percentage of what your rates are, but it's right around that, plus or minus a couple $100. From next thing would be the employer versus the employee amounts. We touched a little bit on that on the first section, but the employee and the employer both have their halves of Social Security and Medicare. Now, where this is important is as the business owner, you are paying both halves. You collect technically out of their paycheck, the employee's half, and then the employer half, you do pay to the government these amounts. Now, the employee amount is coming out of their paycheck. So as much as you are paying both halves, you at least take it out of their paycheck to where you're paying it on their behalf. State disability, that's something, same thing. You take it out of their paycheck and you pay it on their behalf to the Employment Development Department, the EDD. But this is something that you have no out-of-pocket cost for. You just take it out of their paycheck and pay it for them. The employment training tax and the FUTA, those are straight payroll taxes that are employer-based. You, the employer, pay those for the employee. They do not come out of the payroll check of the employee. But the Social Security and Medicare, those are equally shared by the employee and the employer. Now, from a deductible standpoint, the state disability is not deductible because that is an employee expense. The employee portions of your Social Security Medicare are not employer deductible expenses either. Your payroll check to them as a gross number is. And then the employer Social Security and Medicare, as well as FUTA and SUTA, are your employer deductible expenses. Those are the employer and the employee portions. Next, we'll talk about resources. Now, there are lots of resources online and vendors, and you can try doing these things on your own, and they are flat percentages. So you might think an Excel sheet might be the good way to go. If you are a single person and you're doing your own thing, feel free to try to do that. It'd be like me trying to do my own oil change. I might be able to do it, but I probably don't want to. You can get your hands dirty. If you're that type of person and you want to get your computer-based hands dirty by trying to do this, then feel free. But a lot of times, small mistakes could create bigger problems later on. If you forget to pay something or pay something on late, or pay a form or file a form late, those can be potentially worse problems than actually just hiring someone or trying to do it with some additional help. But these are things you can do on your own if you wanted to. They are not impossible to do on your own, but feel out your own abilities. If you're that person that or you're able to do these things, then feel free. But otherwise, I would recommend hiring someone, having your life get a lot easier, focus on the job versus being a payroll person, and either find those resources online, talk to your tax consultant, and they can definitely direct you towards a vendor or someone who can assist you with filing payroll taxes. But these are things that there's a lot of resources online and a lot of resources at your disposal if you like to reach out, and we can direct you accordingly. So today we talked about how to calculate payroll taxes as an employer. Now, payroll taxes are the employee and the employer portions, as well as how to calculate them. And then we also discussed some resources. Hopefully you enjoyed today's video. And as always, please like, subscribe, and set that notification bell for future videos. Still have questions? Reach out to Robert Hall & Associates, and we can be sure to get you in contact with one of our knowledgeable staff, as well as one of the consultants, and we can help you get any question you may have answered and assist you with future tax issues or tax filings you may need.